name is Noelle Cross. Sorry for my technical difficulties. I am not the most technically savvy person in the world, but I do my best. I've been with Costa Fire Protection District for 3 years now, roughly. And before that, I was 15 years with Animal Services. So I know some of you from my ConFire work, and I know some of you from my Animal Services work. And what I'm here today is Margaret invited me to talk to everybody about some home fire safety information. And we're going to do a little emergency preparedness. And I'm going to try and get you, like I said, back to your lives as soon as possible. Okay, so the topics we're going to go over tonight. We're going to talk about having working smoke alarms, not leaving cooking unattended, not overloading our electrical outlets, having 2 ways out, and having a fire evacuation plan. And you might ask, why, Noelle? Why these 5 topics over all the other things that could possibly be talked about with home fire safety? And I will tell you that leaving cooking unattended, cooking, period, whether it's unattended, attended, it doesn't matter. For the last 40 or 50 years, the data tells us that cooking and unattended cooking is still the leading cause of home fires. That and smoking materials, which is why smoke alarms and having working smoke alarms is so crucially important. So not overloading those electrical outlets, having 2 ways out, crucially important for evacuating your home, and having that fire evacuation plan is a big one as well. Especially, I want to put emphasis on it because October is always National Fire Prevention Month, as well as the first week of October is National Fire Prevention Week. And there's a whole history that goes into that. The Fire Prevention Week was first put into place by Calvin Coolidge back in 1925. It commemorates the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. It's one of the worst conflagration fires in the history of our country. So it's our centennial year. It's our 100th year of celebrating Fire Prevention Week, educating in Fire Prevention Week. And this year's theme is Don't Wait, Plan Your Escape. This is very important, especially for folks out there that may have any kind of cognitive or mobility issues. The leading cause of injuries and fatalities in fires has to do with mobility. And mobility hits every demographic, every age, every race, it doesn't matter. Money, it doesn't matter. You can be poor or rich and still have mobility issues. So if you have any kind of cognitive issues, mobility issues, or know anybody that does, this is good information for them, and I want you to share it with them if you can. So let's start on how fast a fire moves. Now, I'm going to show you a quick video. I want you to pay attention to the timer in the top right-hand corner. That timer will not start until the smoke starts. This is a normal kid's bedroom, a normal morning. I'm going to tell you, I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I have seen this happen several times over my lifetime. Not the fire, but the steps leading up to the fire. And this is seriously what happens on a regular basis. This was taken, I believe, in Finland somewhere. This was an educational video that was done there.
Great, Joe.
Smoke alarm's been disabled, if you guys didn't catch that. Little girl's getting ready for school, throws her dryer on the bed. Pajamas go on top. Doors shut, heads down the stairs, going to school. That blow dryer is not on, it's off. It's been turned off. It's just very hot from being used. We have our first sign of smoke, and there goes our timer. The room's a little cluttered, but pretty typical of most kids' rooms these days. I'm going to talk a little bit while you watch this go on. You're going to hear this later in some more videos and some more information I give you. It's not the fire that's going to get you. Yes, flame will kill you, of course. It's the smoke, folks. It's the toxic smoke. 40, 50 years ago, once a smoke alarm sounded, you had 17 minutes to evacuate. Now you have a little less than 3 minutes. You're seeing why right now. And you have about 30 seconds to make that decision. The reason behind this is all the different things we have in our house these days. Back in the old days, our houses were filled with furniture that was made with real wood, real wool, real fibers, real cotton. Those natural materials, they smolder, they burn slower, they burn differently. The materials we have in our houses today, they're more synthetic materials, so they burn quicker, and they give off much more of a toxic gas in the smoke. One good inhale of toxic smoke in a fire, in a home fire, can disorient you badly. 2 inhales could possibly make you pass out. We're at 1 minute and 30 seconds, guys, and I've just been talking to you. And are you paying attention to this room right now? Because this is just one conversation. A quick 2-minute to 2.5-minute conversation in this room is going to be completely gone. That's how quick it can happen. So when we talk about having working smoke alarms, when we talk about being careful with things, this is the kind of, I don't want to scare you. I'm not an enforcer. It's not my job to tell you what to do. It's my job to educate you, to help you change your behaviors, to hopefully help you from having to experience a situation such as the one that's on your screen right now. We're going to hit flash over here very quickly. All the oxygen is being sucked out of the room. Remember, fire needs 3 things to live: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Once that heat or the fuel or the oxygen's gone, fire dies. You take away any one of those components, fire dies. 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and this is her room. It happens this fast. All right. Pause that. We're going to skip ahead. All right, those smoke alarms we talked about. Now I know I'm sharing my screen, so I need to hide this again so you guys can see the whole screen. All right. You need, now, I know that if you go to sell your home or you go to refinance your home, or if you have an inspector come in your home, they're going to tell you need a smoke alarm in every single bedroom in the house and one outside all those bedrooms. Yes, in the grand scheme, yes. If you were selling your home by code, they want them everywhere because they assume somebody's going to be sleeping in every one of those bedrooms. But if you take your house you have now and who's sleeping in it, all you need is one smoke alarm in each room that gets slept in. So when they say sleeping area, it means where do they sleep? If you have a 3-bedroom house and you only sleep in one room and the other room is a junk or hobby room and one room's an office and there's no spare bed, there's no chance of anybody ever sleeping in those rooms, no point in having a smoke alarm in there. The whole point of the smoke alarm is to wake you up in the middle of the night if there's a fire. If nobody's in the room sleeping, you don't need it in there. You need one where you're sleeping and one in the hallway outside where you're sleeping, and on every level of the home. So if you have a basement, one down there. So this is what this little caricature here is telling you. Those smoke alarms should be tested at least once a month to push the buttons, make sure they're working well, and they should be replaced every 10 years. All right. This is a very quick video about smoke alarm placement. All it's doing is reiterating some of these videos I add just because it reiterates just what I've told you, but it gives you a visual as well. And I'm going to go hide this. I wish I could hide this permanently, but it just doesn't let me. So I apologize for that. So let's watch this.
No matter what kind of home you live in.
Oops, I apologize. There we go.
No matter what kind of home you live in, it needs working smoke alarms. Every level of your home should have at least one working smoke alarm, inside and outside of sleeping areas, and even the basement too. You will need more smoke alarms where people sleep. Put smoke alarms inside and outside all places where people sleep. Remember, smoke rises. So place smoke alarms on the ceiling or high on a wall, away from outside windows and doors. Do not install smoke alarms too close to your kitchen or bathroom because cooking smoke and steam can make the alarm start beeping when there is no emergency. Installing battery-powered smoke alarms is easy with the right tools. Before you install the alarm, write the date inside and outside the cover of the smoke alarm as a reminder of how old it is and when you should replace it. Replace smoke alarms when they are 10 years old or older. After you install a smoke alarm, push the test button to make sure the alarm works. If it beeps, you're good to go. And always ask for help if you need it. Now you know where to place smoke alarms in your home.
I'm just going to tell y'all, if your smoke alarm is yellow, it needs to be replaced. I have never in the history of me shopping for smoke alarms ever come across a beige or yellow smoke alarm that's brand new in a package. So please, if you look up in the ceiling and your smoke alarm is yellow or a beige color, it's time to get replaced. That's a joke, but it really, I do mean it. Cooking safety. Please make sure that you're mindful of grease and crumbs and things like that in and around stoves and ovens. That's fuel, obviously. Oops, darn it. Hold on, guys. Me and my quick fingers. Sorry, I got to keep my hand off the mouse down here. If you have a fire in the oven or in a microwave, just leave the door closed, turn it off, or the microwave, unplug it, let it sit and cool, no matter what. Even if you know exactly what caused the fire and you're pretty sure, you're positive that everything's fine, please call 911. We had an incident, and some of the folks that are from Walnut Creek and Rossmore may be aware of this. There was a situation where someone came home, they put some food in the oven, and the oven popped. Now, the oven made a pop noise, but it didn't smoke. There wasn't a flame, nothing like that. But the person turned the oven off, which was the smart thing to do, and then called 911 and went and got their neighbor and told them, I'm calling 911. I heard a funny noise in my oven. Thankfully, this person did that. Because what happened is there's some old we all have old electrical wiring in some of our homes, and this home had it. And in between the wall, there was some situation with the electrical, and the wires arced, and there was a fire in between the walls and between the two apartments. So even when you're almost positive and sure, this person could have been really sure and said, you know what, my oven just went out. It's an old oven. Went and ate a yogurt, watched Maury Povich, and took a nap. That wouldn't have been good for those people. But luckily, the person called 911, let us know. We were able to come there and get the fire out, and nobody was injured. I mean, they lose things, but I'd rather you lose things than you. Every year for Fire Prevention Week, the first week is dedicated to kids, and we have a different theme every year. And the theme a couple years ago was kitchen cooking safety. So this video is a video that we took. By saying we, I meaning the fire district, myself and my colleague and some members of our suppression crews. This is at our training center on Treat Boulevard in Concord. This is a sunny day. There are blue skies, a little bit of clouds, and about tiny 5-mile-per-hour wind. There's two things I want you to pay attention to in this video, besides learning why you don't put water on a grease fire. I want you to pay attention. If you see my cursor, you're going to see my hand move down by the firefighter's boots here. I want you to pay attention to this concrete and watch how far a grease fire can spread if you put water on it. Now, I've heard other people say, well, I put salt on it and I could put baking soda on it. And I said, that's fantastic, but you do realize you're still shaking your hand like this. You're shaking over the fire. I don't want you to do that. I want you to act quickly as possible. Cover that flame or that pan or that pot on your stove with another lid to the pot, a cookie sheet, or another pan. I want you to take away one of those components to make the fire go away. Remember, fire needs heat, oxygen, and fuel. Take away the oxygen, you take away the fire. You're smothering it. Same thing happens with a fire extinguisher, right? But I want you to be mindful of when you're using a fire extinguisher. Yes, they'll work. Yes, it's a good tool, but you need to know how to use it safely and properly. That fire extinguisher is still a can of compressed air and water and another chemical to help squelch that fire. If you get too close to your pan on the stove and you squirt a fire extinguisher, you could easily shoot the grease everywhere and spread the fire more throughout your kitchen. That's not good. So I need you to know how to use a fire extinguisher safely. I'm going to hide this again. I apologize. And there's other ways you can put out a fire besides using an extinguisher. And I also want you to be mindful. The second thing I want you to pay attention to besides the grease is on the right-hand side of the screen over here where my hand is moving around, my little cursor. A firefighter is going to come in with a dry chemical extinguisher, just like the ones you would use at home or at your office or work or anywhere else. This extinguisher gives off a lot of atmospheric activity. So I need you to be mindful that if you do use an extinguisher in a small confined space, you are going to get disoriented very quickly. The room's going to fill with smoke from the fire you extinguished, the chemical agent that's coming out of the extinguisher, and you're not going to be able to see. You might choke a little bit. Your eyes are going to burn. So if you do use an extinguisher in a closed space, I need you to make sure you have your back to an exit and you back out, you have a safe way to get out. So there's still things you need to think about. So let's watch this and hopefully those things will come through your head while you're seeing the visuals. Buffering. It'll be back, trust me. I have good Wi-Fi. Try it again. I apologize, folks. Sometimes this happens. This one's not my fault. Normally everything's my fault.
Every year, kitchen fires cause 48% of all home fires, 45% of all home injuries, and 21% of all fire deaths, according to the National Fire Protection Association. Unattended cooking is the most common contributing factor. If you have a fire involving grease on the stove, do not use water. As you can see, using water makes the fire more volatile and can cause a larger fire, extending into your kitchen and possibly your home. One option is to carefully smother the flames with the lid of a pot or another pan. Cover the flames and then carefully turn off the burner. You should call 911 so the fire department can check to make sure that the fire is extinguished properly. The safest option is to use a dry chemical extinguisher. The Contra Costa County Fire Protection District provides classes on how to use a dry chemical fire extinguisher. The sequence is to pull the pin, aim at the base of the flames, squeeze the trigger, and sweep the extinguishing agent back and forth at the base of the fire to extinguish the flames.
Now, can any of you see that firefighter? No, you can't. I know that this happened because I was there helping video this, and that lasted for about a good 20 seconds or more before the breeze kind of finally blew it away. And that extinguisher that firefighter's using is a basic 10-pound extinguisher that you guys would have anywhere. It could be in an office or anywhere. This is what I want you to picture. And the only reason that this is gray right now is because there were blue sunny skies above us. That's why it's gray. Any other situation, it's going to be black. I want you to know that Hollywood and TV do us no justice when it comes to fire. Even the best fire movies that, Backdraft and all that, they don't get it right because they can't, because it's Hollywood. You can't hide your actors, right? You got to pull all that stuff away so you can see what's going on. In a real fire, you will not see what's going on. Fire it's fast, it's mean, and it's dark. And it's just, I can't emphasize that enough. So please, I just want you to be mindful when you do these things. Those fire extinguishers as well, they only have about 8 to 30 seconds worth of use of the agent inside of them to actually do the job. So if what I'm going to tell you is that fire that's on that stove, what we call that is, and I'm going to go back just to show you. So when you have a fire in a pan or a pot on a stove like this, we call that item the object of origin. That's fire talk, right? It's fire speak. If your fire is within the object of origin, an extinguisher is a good tool. If this fire has spread up into your kitchen beyond the object of origin, if it's left the object of origin and is now moving and crawling and eating other things in the kitchen, just get out and call 911. Your extinguisher may or may not do the job, and I don't want you in that situation. You just need to go outside. Just get out and stay out. So remember, those extinguishers are only good for small incipient fires that are within an object, contained within an object. Other than that, you're taking some chances, and it's up to you. It's up to you to take those chances. Remember, I don't tell you what to do. I just try to educate, but I would like you to be aware of those things. In regards to electrical stuff, pretty easy stuff here. We're gonna watch a quick video afterwards. You don't overload. Okay, no Griswold, no Clark Griswold. If any of you have ever seen Christmas Story, where the dad has the big, electrical bundle of cords all plugged in, and he's putting the Christmas lights on, and he taps it, and sparks are flying everywhere. You don't want to do that. That's not good. Your power strips, those are made. They usually have what, 4 or 5 outlets? Great. 4 or 5 things. That's it. No daisy chaining. Okay, no backing into them. Please don't put them under rugs or in between doors. If they get pinched or they're under a carpet, all that wear and tear can wear away the insulation that protects those wires and keeps them from rubbing together and causing a fire. You may not know. Again, always plug any major appliances directly into your wall outlets, because obviously you have a electrical panel in your house and those fuses will trip, causing your fire to not extend more and causing more of an electrical fire. One thing I'd like to really point out, it's at the very bottom down here, and it has to do with dryers. So I work for the district, but the unit I work in is called Community Risk Reduction, and everything we do is based on data. So I can go out all day long and do all these educational presentations, and I can blanket the whole county with these messages, but they're not going to land with the right people and the right messages to the right people unless we look at our data to see where our fire problems exist. So we look at daily incidents. We have a daily incident review that we do every day. My colleague does that one. I look at past incidents and compare our previous year to the national trends to see if we're trending with the rest of the nation and where our biggest problems lie. And we use all this data to target certain areas of our community with the proper messaging. And one of those things that came up recently was dryer fires. For a while there, it was about 6 months straight. Every week we had a residential fire that was due to dryer lint. Now, I'm not talking about your lint traps. I'm talking about that vent that goes from the back of the dryer to the outside of the house that everybody forgets about. They should be cleaned every year. I didn't even dawn on me, but my grandfather used to collect the lint and he would put it in a paper bag, and we used to take it camping, and that was our fire starter. Duh. I never thought of that until now. But that lint that builds up in your dryer vent going to the outside is a huge fire hazard. And I mean it when I tell you that we were having weekly incidents. We would see electrical fire, and then we would look deeper into the incident review because it would come out electrical because it was an electrical appliance. And we'd look deeper and find out it wasn't electrical. Yes, it was an electrical dryer or whatever, but it was the lint that caught on fire, and so it came up through, and then the fire went up into the dryer, into the garage or the laundry room or whatever. So please check your ductwork and make sure that it's lint free as much as possible. Okay, because that's a big one right there. And I would only share that with you because we had the incidents and I have the data to share, so I know it's true. This video is fast, so this is just reiterating some of the stuff I just said to you guys.
This message brought to you by USFA and your local fire department. Prevent an electrical fire in your home by following these simple steps. Never use extension cords with appliances. Plug them directly into wall outlets. Replace worn or damaged cords immediately. Do not try to repair them. Avoid putting cords where they can be damaged or pinched. Buy only appliances approved by a recognized testing lab. Use light bulbs that match the recommended wattage. Have all electrical work done by a licensed electrician. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Pretty quick.
This message brought to you.
No more. All right. Now I know I'm at 7 o'clock and I wanted to finish all this in 30 minutes for this first one, but this is super important and I can't let this one go. This is the meat and potatoes of a lot of stuff I do, and especially for our aging population, for your young kids, anybody with mobility issues. This is huge. And I had no idea that I was doing things correctly until I came to the fire district. We are pushing this close before you doze. We are pushing this even more than stop, drop, and roll. And I'll tell you why, because this is actually going to save your life. Closing your door when you go to sleep at night is a huge, huge deal. We just had a firefighter in, I think it was Massachusetts, and I want to say somewhere over that direction of the country, who went into a home fire. It was aftermath, and the baby was in the nursery with the bedroom door closed, and there was a fire in the rest of the house, and he put it on Twitter, the aftermath. and showed why close before you doze is such a big deal. And it went viral. And I want this to go viral. If this to me is one of the most easiest and important things you can do. If you have young kids at home, practicing a home fire escape plan, talking to them about things like this and closing the door when you go to sleep at night is going to save someone's life in a home fire. If you have an elderly person that lives in your home or lives alone and they have, they're going to have cognitive issues responding. We all do. Try and wake me up in the middle of the night with a smoke alarm going off. It's going to take me a minute, right? It's going to take all of us a minute. Or anybody with mobility issues. This is huge. I can tell you about this all night long, but I'm going to let you watch it for yourself because my words don't mean anything that these images can prove otherwise.
In the United States, someone dies in a house fire every 2 hours and 42 minutes. Most fatal fires happen in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. In a fire, it's not the flames, but the toxic smoke that will get you.
One breath is all it will take, and it will kill you.
But a simple move can keep that deadly smoke at bay.
If you want to survive a fire that happens in the middle of the night,
sleep with your door closed. You guys attack the living room. That's where the fire's starting.
Chief Mark Stowe is with the Beaver Falls Fire Department. With the help of his firefighters and a crew from the Chippewa Fire Department,
everybody walk through it.
We're going to set this house on fire to show you firsthand how a closed bedroom door can save your life.
So let me give you a little tour of the house and the scenario. This is the living room. The fire is going to start right here in a trash can. Right off of the living room is the master bedroom. We're going to leave this bedroom door closed. And then up the hall, follow me this way. This is what we're calling the kids' bedroom. And in this room, we're leaving this door open.
And we set up 7 cameras so you can see exactly what happens in each room as this fire burns. It doesn't take long for the smoke alarm to go off. 1 minute into the fire, smoke is gathering at the ceiling. It starts to trickle into the kids' bedroom. At 2 minutes, the smoke is pressing down even harder in the living room and in that bedroom with the open door. But in the master bedroom, take a look. You can see the orange glow of the fire at the bottom of the door, but no smoke is getting into this room. Back in the living room, at 3 minutes, the fire is raging. The room goes black. Flames race down the hallway. Debris begins to fall from the ceiling. And in the kids' room, smoke consumes the room. The bed and cradle disappear into darkness. Take a look again at the master bedroom. Even with the fire raging right outside the door, there's no sign of smoke in here.
Yeah, let's knock it down.
At this point, firefighters put out the blaze. Chief Stowe walks us through the aftermath.
You can see this room, you would have never survived. If there were children in this room or anybody in this room, the temperatures at the ceiling in this room would have been over 1,000 degrees.
My eyes are burning just being in here.
Taking a look around the room, you can see the smoke damage in every corner.
Nobody would have survived this.
No, you would have not survived this room. No, not with the door open.
But up the hallway, in that master bedroom with the door closed, it's a vastly different story.
This door is totally charred.
Totally charred, as you can see.
But on the inside, wow.
On the inside, as you can see, there is literally no smoke or heat damage to this room.
Take a look. The bedspread is still white. The wallpaper is clean.
Wow.
The inside of the bedroom door and the mirror are untouched.
So this room was survivable.
This room was survivable.
All it took was closing the door.
It's going to save your life.
It will save your life.
Now, that video was done, and I took the beginning part off because it's just sad, but a family was lost in a fire, tragically. They had their bedroom doors open, and they all died of smoke inhalation, and that's why that video was made. In my emergency preparedness presentation, I have another video that shows the same exact scenario, except it's with newer furnishings, because a lot of people say, well, those are, it was an old door, it was a solid core, maybe. No. So I'm going to tell you, they've tested this theory. There's people like fire scientists and engineers that sit in laboratories and build homes, and they use all kinds of different materials, and they have tested this theory time and time again for years now, and it shows the same results every time. And I will tell you that I just did a presentation and I want to share this with you guys because I think it's important. I was doing fire extinguisher use and safety training in Costa, and I was out East County. And a young lady was in the training and she visibly and physically reacted and had to leave the room several times. And afterwards, she came to me and asked if she could speak to me. And I said, of course. And she broke down and started crying. And I said, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, it's just everything you're teaching us is so right on. And I just wish, I hope these people listen to you. And I said, did you experience something like this? And she said, yeah, unfortunately I did. So her family were victims. It was about 25 years ago of one of the most historically tragic fires in the history of the city of Palo Alto. Their history. She lost 9 family members in one night, 5 children and 4 adults. No working smoke alarms, unattended cooking, only one way out of their home. And her little brother survived that fire. It's the only person that survived because he got so scared that he ran into a closet and shut the door. And he pulled all the coats and jackets down on top of him. Now, he still had horrible smoke inhalation and he had a lot of recovery, but he didn't die because he was protected by that door in the closet and it helped. It saved his life. So I know that this works. And I have people that have told me and shared stories with me of why that works. So talking about having 2 ways out now. I want you guys to go home if you have kids, even if you don't. Draw a map of your house. Draw a map of all the rooms in your house and take a look around. Do you have 2 ways out of everywhere? And if you don't have 2 ways out, what's your plan? What's your home fire escape plan? I want you to start thinking about things like that. I want you to have a meeting place outside. This is super important. You got to know if one way is blocked by fire, you got to have another way to get out. Practicing that home fire escape plan. Make sure everybody in the house is aware of this. Draw the map. Put all the doors and windows in. Find those 2 ways out. Make sure nothing's blocking those exits. Choose a safe place away from the house. It's an outside meeting place, so you can do a head count. Make sure everybody's okay. Practice these things during the day and at night. If it's, I don't want you to always practice. We used to say this in CERT. I used to say we always do CERT drills on a sunny blue sky day. We need to do CERT drills at night. We need to do CERT drills during the rain. Emergencies and disasters don't just happen when there's good weather and when it's convenient for us. And I know it's hard, but I participated in one CERT drill that was in the evening. It was years ago. And I don't know if you guys do that now, but it's a really good idea to plan. You got to know what to do when everything isn't just going right. So there's that. And then this is a quick recap of everything that I just told you.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have 2 ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least 2 ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. Call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov. This message is brought to you by the
I will tell you that the young lady also shared with me, and I did look this up. One of the things you'll see on this page is down at the window. I don't know if any of you have security bars on your doors or windows at your homes. If you do, I want you to check their emergency release levers and make sure they work properly. Those emergency release levers are on those windows and doors that have bars because of that young lady who lost her family. That fire was so tragic, and they had security bars because they lived in a not so nice area, so they had to have security bars. They didn't have any release levers. They were just mounted on there, so the fire department could not get in. There was only one door they could get into, only. Everything else was blocked with bars. So because of that fire, it changed state legislation. And now these security bars and doors have to have emergency release levers because of that fire. So make sure your street number is clearly visible for us to see you. If you have young children, anybody with some mobility limitations, please make sure that somebody assists them or that you have a plan for them. Are they going to shelter in place and stay in their room with the door closed? How are you working that? I'd love to be able to tell you how to do it, but I don't live in your home. You do. So I need you to go home and see what works best for you and your family and your people and your pets, and have a plan for that. If you do wake up to a fire in your home, I hope most of you have learned this, that you don't just open the door right away. If you hear that smoke alarm sound, you want to go up to your door, feel the door with the back of your hand, not the door knob. I don't want you to burn your hand in case the fire is outside the door. If it's cool, you can open your door a crack to check to see if there's any smoke. If there is smoke, you want to close the door and use your second exit. If there isn't any, just get down low where that clean area is and move your, stay low and go. And if you can remember to, close doors behind you as you go. People always ask me, well, why do I have to close the door behind me? We just watched a video about it, right? Close before you doze. It's the same concept in a home fire. If you close the door behind you, you just block the fire from coming at you any further. Same situation. Stop, drop, and roll only if your clothes catch on fire. You don't, we had to start remembering how we worded this to little kids, because we would go to a school and say, okay, kids, what do you do if there's a fire in the house? And they go, stop, drop, and roll. No, the answer is called 911, but yeah, you're on the right path. So we had to start thinking about how we worded it, because kids just heard fire and they just drop on the ground and start rolling. We want kids to think 911 and getting out. We want them to get out and stay out and call 911. If their clothes catch on fire, though, then yes, we want them to roll on the ground. If there is a fire in your home, please don't try to fight it yourself. I would like you to call 911. I think that's the safest bet. Please don't stop to gather your personal things. Get out, use your escape plan that you practice, stay low. And if you're trapped, you just close any doors between you and the fire, call 911, and we will be there and we'll get you out. And that is my home fire safety presentation. Before I go on to the next one, Miss Margaret, would you like me to take any questions on home fire safety now, or would you like me to wait till we're done completely?
You know, I would suggest, since we're at 7:10, that you barrel through. There are no questions in the chat right now, so let's go on to the next.
All right, let's jam. Okay. Personal preparedness. I don't have to really do a whole lot with here because you're all CERT people, right? You've all got this figured out. I know you do. So let's just face it. CERT people, we're a different group of people, aren't we? We're those type A's. We're disaster junkies. We love this stuff, and that's why you're here, because you want to take care of you. You want to take care of your family. You want to take care of your neighbors. Please remember, I know some of you CERT folks don't just wear one hat. Sometimes you work with Red Cross or Salvation Army, or you might work with another organization. Before you can go help anybody else, you got to make sure your own house is in order first. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. I want you folks to make sure that you have your plans in place, so then you can get out into the community and help the neighbors and help the people you want to help. But before you can get out there and deploy, you need to make sure that your own house is in order first, right? Why do we plan? Well, because it makes it less stressful and less traumatic if we know what's going on, right? And obviously, like I said, if you're a volunteer, you're really not free to deploy until your own household's taken care of first. Don't become a secondary emergency for the people you're already trying to, assist. So when you're planning, real simple. It's a 3-step process, all right? Number 1, you need to locate a couple places where you can either send or safely evacuate with your family and your pets. 2, you need to put together a go bag for every person in your household and your pets. That doesn't mean you have to do it. You got kids, let them help you put together their own bags. And I'm going to show you some stuff. These kids can do it too. They're smart. They've got these fancy little smartphone things right here. There is nothing. If your kids can go on YouTube and figure out how to, do whatever they do, and trust me, I know I got nephews. I got a 19-year-old. They figure out all kinds of stuff. Then they can put together a go bag and help out around the house. And then I want you to have a buddy system, okay? And a buddy system is going to be there to help you if you're not in town or you're not around or you're out volunteering. You need somebody that can go to your house if you live alone and you have pets that need to be taken care of, or you've got a person in your house you care for with mobility issues. You need to have that buddy system to help you out, and they help you stay informed as well. Step 1, where are you going to go? All right. Keep a list of pet-friendly hotels in your bag if you got pets. Now, most hotels these days have gotten the gist, right? We've seen it. They let you take your pets. Some places still don't. Red Cross struggled with that for a while. They're doing a whole lot better. They're starting to plan for animals and stuff now, which is fantastic. You got a family or friend's house that's outside of the disaster area? Talk to them ahead of time and see if they'll be willing to put you or your family up. You got an RV or a trailer? Keep a list of campgrounds you can stay at. My grandparents lived in Clear Lake for 30 something years. They've lived there. My Nana had horrible emphysema and breathing issues. Every summer is fire season in Clear Lake. Every summer, as soon as the smoke started, my papa and my Nana would get in the motorhome and they'd head right to the coast. That was their plan. Red Cross shelters and other shelter locations, please be advised, some of these places will not allow pets. So just be aware of that. They may or may not be ready to house pets. So you may have to be coming up with plan B. Where are you going to go? Well, you need to be somewhat of a safe distance from home. You need to identify your alternative evacuation routes. I spoke to another group and a lady told me that she had 2 routes planned. And when she went to her one route that she thought, and she was right, no traffic, nobody was there, it's old country road. She hit that country road. She got about halfway down and a tree had fallen over on that road that nobody knew about. She had to turn around and go right back. So make sure you've got a couple evacuation routes that you have like paper maps with you. You're not always going to have the digital. I mean, it might be nice, but just know it's good to have that paper backup. Practice evacuating. See how long it takes for you and your family to actually evacuate. Trust me, it's not as easy as you think. I did it before. I had my volunteers with Animal Services be the managers of a shelter. I tried to load up all my pets and get there. It took me 20 minutes to load everybody up. I was already dead. So please practice this stuff. Crate training is really good for your animals. If they're going to be in an emergency shelter, especially your dogs and cats, they're going to be in a crate. Get them used to it now. Evacuating during the pandemic, I had to put this in there because, you know, it's COVID country now. So just make sure, you know, you've got some masks and stuff, and you got to follow those CDC recommendations no matter what. The health of everybody around you. It's not just, you know, your world and we live in it. We got to take care of everybody. When do you leave? This acronym I heard about 18 years ago, and I haven't forgotten it. I was at one of my very first emergency management meetings, and this gentleman stood up and said, I wish you guys would adopt this, please. And anybody can use it. Please leave early and safely evacuate. That's the best advice I can give you. You see smoke, it's a wildfire, leave. Don't be my grandfather. I have a 91-year-old grandfather now in Clear Lake by himself, has been for the last almost 20 years now. Nana's gone. The man who used to leave as soon as he saw smoke is now the man that won't leave his house, even when the sheriff shows up and tells him to. Please don't be my papa. Please leave early. We don't want you on the roads. I want you safe. You have a much better chance of getting where you need to get to if you get out early. So leave early enough to not be caught up in any of that congestion or headache. Obviously have that predetermined location. It should be a low risk area. How to get there, have your travel routes ready to go. And what do you take? Well, let's talk about what you're going to take. What are you going to take? You're going to have a go bag. I'm not going to tell you what to put in your go bag. There are 100 million different websites out there that you can go Google. I tell my daughter this all the time when she says, Mom, what do I do? How do I do this? I said, you know what, kid? GTS. Google that stuff. Go find it. Google is your best friend in the world, right? There are so many lists, and I don't know what you need, but I know you're going to have to carry it. So you see, I have some of my favorite people right here, some of our older adults here. You got an ice chest on wheels, that'll work. You got one of them old suitcases laying around, that'll work. Think about how you're going to carry this stuff. It's going to get heavy. And I will tell you this. I know it always says 3 days or 7 days of food and water. Okay. Food and water comes. I've deployed to several different disasters and helped out in all kinds of different scenarios. And I am telling you, the food shows up. It's the type of food that shows up that might not agree with you. I'm going to tell you, yes, maybe pack some aluminum bottles of water, maybe some water clarification tablets, you know, something that's lighter weight to carry. When it comes to food, put a few non-perishable things in there and some candy. But other than that, pack some Pepsid. Get your omeprazole going. Get your Rolaids and your Tums. Because if you're not used to eating certain things, that's what's coming. If it's a big scale disaster, you're going to get lots of food that comes that can be made in big bulk and quickly and in single packaging for people. Burritos, sandwiches, pizza, things like that. If that's going to upset your stomach, make sure you've got those Rolaids and Tums ready. If you have gluten sensitivity, if you're a vegan, if you have any kind of eating issues, or, you know, you're going to have to make sure you're prepared. It's your job to make sure you're taken care of, not everybody else's. Okay. We know this. We're CERTs. Get the kids involved. Your kids can make a go bag and they can carry it all these different ways. Okay. Let them get involved. Have them be a part of this so they're aware of things. Additional items, your important paperwork. Remember this cool little tool right here? This little thing, this little cell phone thing you got going on? Not only is it a camera, not, you know, that's what we usually use it for, right? Taking pictures. It's also a little computer. Take pictures of all your important insurance paperwork and save it in a file on your phone. Just make sure you have a backup battery for it. But you can put all kinds of stuff, your medications, pictures of your doctor's names and numbers, have it all ready to go at your fingertips. There's some basic stuff here on this list, but like I said, I'm not going to go into that because this is stuff that you guys need to figure out what you're going to need. I will tell you where you should keep it. Obviously at home, please don't do like my mother. I made emergency preparedness kits for my entire family one year. I spent $100 on each family. I gave them to them. I had meeting places, out-of-state contacts, everything we were told to do in CERT. My mother put hers in the attic. She didn't want to look at an ugly bucket in her fancy garage. And then I asked her where it was because I was going to pull it down out of the attic and I was going to put it somewhere where she could use it. And within a year, my mom had sold it at a garage sale for 20 bucks. So please keep your go bags and your kits in a designated place and have them ready just in case. At work, I always have something at work. Of course, it is my work, so I have to. And in your car. It's always good to keep a little something in the car in case you get stranded as well. Buddy system. 2 people. Okay. What time am I at? I'm at 7:20. I got 10 minutes. All right. Buddy system. Stay informed. Keep 2 people. It could be anybody. I ended up making a buddy with the girl at Safeway who ended up being my pet sitter. Make sure you have an out-of-state contact for family check-in. As most of you know, trying to get lines inside the disaster area is going to be kind of hard. EMS is going to take over a lot of those, and who knows what's going on with the cell phone towers at the time. It's going to be a lot easier to get a line out of the area than to into the area. So just know that. The must knows is these people should know how to get into your home safely. They should have a key. They should know where your emergency bags are, know your emergency contacts, all these things here. They should know to check in with you, have a plan. So just as you have an evacuation plan for your family for home fires, this is your emergency plan with your buddy system, okay? I want you to stay informed. Most of you have already done this, but get those apps on your phone, Nixle, Pulse Point, the community warning system. Let's get that information on our phone so you guys can stay informed and know what's going on around you. You want to know who's who in the zoo, right? Right here. So your possible buddies, neighbors, family, friends, pet sitter, hairdresser, who have you known? Is your manicurist a good person? Do you guys talk? Do you have a close relationship? Could be anybody. You need to have somebody that's around in case you're not. They need to know how you're coordinating and planning. Have a plan. Define the task. Let's know who's doing what. Okay. You don't want to end up like down here with kitty cat and a little, 12 pack going on right here. That's probably not a safe cat carrier. So let's get that all set up ahead of time. That way you won't be so stressed out and worried about your cat jumping out of this box here because it'll be in a crate. Don't be scared. All right. How do you eat an elephant, folks? One bite at a time. I used to tell people when I helped train for CERT years and years ago, you don't have to go out and buy that $400 Leatherman tool. You don't have to have all the fancy schmancy stuff. Just slowly take, if you just do 1 or 2 things a day or even a week, slowly build your go bags, work on your home fire escape plan, communicate with your family. Even if you just got an out-of-state contact this week, great. You're one step ahead to being more prepared and safer in the case of an event of a disaster or emergency. That's all you got to do. So I want you to have that home fire escape plan and share it with anyone in your home. Practice your plan. Make sure your phone's next to your bed at night. Keep your shoes or slippers, eyeglasses, hearing devices. Clean those pathways. Make sure we don't have any tripping hazards. No personal stuff. Make sure, it's in your phone and ready to go. Have your go bags ready. I do tell folks if it's possible to back your cars in if you can. It just takes a few seconds off your exit time. Instead of having to back out, you just go straight out the gate. And make sure you and your family know how to operate the garage door if the electricity goes out. I know that this is different. I've talked to folks in Rossmore and I'm learning more about the key system there. But it's good knowledge to have for anybody to know if the electricity goes out, how to pull that cord and lift your garage door. And if you haven't done it, practice it. You can practice it and re-engage it. It's no big deal, but get used to it now. I did it, Margaret. I did it.
You are awesome. Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I want
you.
to share this. Can I leave this up while people are asking questions just so they can write this stuff down if they want?
You can. And
Okay.
while that's up,
Mhm.
I'm going to take a screenshot of that. While that is up, we did have somebody in the chat say, hey, fire blankets can be found on Amazon for $10, which led another person to say, are fire blankets recommended?
Okay, so let me answer that. While working for these people right here, I am not allowed as a fire district employee, I am not allowed to endorse any product at all. What I will say is I think the fire blankets could do the job, but I want you to be mindful of something. They're really cool. I've seen them. I think they can work. Here's the issue though. Be mindful. You're pulling the blanket. It has two little tabs on it. You pull the blanket down out of its container. You shake it real quick, right? And then the goal is you're supposed to throw it like a blanket over the fire. If you're stressed out and freaked out and the fire is growing in your kitchen, right? And you go to throw that blanket onto your pan, you can accidentally short throw that blanket, hit the handle of the pan, flipping that hot pan with whatever's in it all over your kitchen. So yes, can you use a fire blanket? Absolutely. Do I think it's a good tool? Sure. Do I think you need to be careful when you use it just like an extinguisher? Absolutely. There is no 100% item that's going to keep you safe. Remember, you're in the process of cognitively trying to grasp the concept that there is a fire in front of you. It just immediately your adrenaline's rushing, you're freaking out. What do I do? It takes you a few seconds to cognitively go, okay. You grab your blanket and you throw it, but you might miss. So just be careful. That's all I'm telling you. Yes, you can use one. Yeah, that's great. Real quick, somebody mentioned carbon monoxide detectors, Mr. Mark Peters. The fire district does not issue carbon monoxide detectors. We do have a senior and a disability smoke alarm program. Your carbon monoxide detectors, very important. The leading cause of poisoning in the country still. That weightless, tasteless, smell, no nothing gas. Get your carbon monoxide detectors. Do the same with them as you would your smoke alarms. Check them every month. They need to be replaced every 10 years. Very easy to go get. You can get them. They plug right into your wall and they have a backup battery. And those ones should be about 5 feet or lower. They do sell smoke alarms with a CO with a carbon monoxide in them. I've asked my captain about it. His answer to me was, it doesn't matter. If that's the way it's built, then UL says it's okay, it's okay. But as much as I'm not supposed to endorse, I still try to tell people to have a separate carbon monoxide detector and put it where it's supposed to go, 5 feet or lower on the wall. I don't see the point in putting a carbon monoxide up in the ceiling when it's a lightweight gas. It's not going to get up there as fast. That's the point of the smoke detectors is smoke rises. Carbon monoxide does not. So in my opinion, I would prefer you had them separate. And that's just me. But again, you do whatever you want. It's your home. This is America. You can do whatever you'd like to do. But in regards to those carbon monoxide detectors, yes, please do the same as your smoke alarms. Test them monthly, replace them.
All right. That's it, folks. I thank you very much. Everybody have a great evening.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. Stay safe. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.